I'm a bit of a watch enthusiast. I love collecting watches. Now, a lot of the watches I have are, they're not classically, made anymore, except for one that I'm going to show you. But watches are a good convenience wear for men and women. There's different watches for men and women. And men and women, I think, should wear watches more because with cell phones, you know, if they get wet, your phone's off, so you don't know what time it is. And not all cities have clocks. The big center city clock, not all cities have that anymore. So, watches are a good way to go. Now, if you are a person who likes to wear three-piece tuxedos, or likes to dress casually every now and then with a nice dress shirt and dress pants and stuff like that, you might want to go with a pocket watch. Now, pocket watches, now this is a replica watch of the Kansas City Railroad pocket watch that Jesse James apparently stole from a train conductor. Well, fallacy about that. This could not be possibly a replica of a conductor's railroad watch because conductors had no faces on their watches. It was like this. And they would have a seal of the train station, and the conductors at a certain time had to, how do you say, send their watches in to get set. There was assigns to these watches, as you could see by how they recreated the inside inside gadgets, and this is what operated the watches. Now, do I think Jesse James stole a conductor's watch? Could have been, could be true, but it would be without a face. Now, the only watches with faces were owned by the wealthy. Now, there are a lot of antique watches out there which cost a lot of money because during time, pocket watches, they were popular in the 17th century up to the 1940s. Now, up to the 1940s, pocket watches had over a 300-plus year run in popularity. So, President Theodore Roosevelt was known for having pocket watches, especially a faced one. So faced watches were for the wealthy. Now, there are antique faced watches out there, but be aware, they cost a shitload of money. Now, you could get a faced watch that looks like an antique. It's probably going to be fake or flimsy, but you can get a nice faced watch just for the fact that it has a nice face to it. Now, there are other inexpensive faced watches like this where you can buy them and wear them. Now, pocket watches are said to be for older men. I disagree. With the way things are, with bling and all that, and the chains, look, pocket watches like this. This is how they're meant to be worn. See the square here in the jeans, the top jeans? That was originally meant for pocket watches. Now, you could very well do this. This is up to you. That's more the traditional way of how to go about it. You could do that. Or what you can do is you can find wherever the logo of the jean company where your jeans were made in, which warehouse, you can find that, hook it there, and wear it like that. So it looks like you're wearing a chained wallet, but still looks good either way. Now, pocket watches like these, like the replica of the Kansas City Railroad pocket watch, things like this are good for jeans. But there are other fancier pocket watches that are meant for jeans. They're meant for three-piece suits and all that. And if you wear a three-piece suit with a pocket watch with jeans, you're a fool, because there are certain pocket watches that just look beautiful with three-piece suits. So we're off the discussion of pocket watches, but this is good for people. This is for certain types of people. People who like to wear pocket watches on certain occasions and all that. There are pocket watch enthusiasts out there. I don't know everything about pocket watches. I only know some specifics about it. So the next thing we're going to move to is timepieces. Now, what are timepieces? Sterling watches. This one I got back in 2013 for Christmas. This is a timepiece. Sterling is a German watch company. It's a family-owned watch company, and just like every other watch company, this is true watchmaking. So I'm afraid, if the battery needs to be replaced, they have to. I think it has a 2-year or 1-year warranty, but I need to send it to the company to get the battery replaced, because this is true watchmaking at its finest. Now, what I like about this is that they have a slider on here, on their chain banded ones. Now they have a slider on there so you can fit your wrist. It's a one size fits most. Now, as you can see, this fits my wrist fine because I tightened it a little. Now, this is great for like an occasion like now that I'm doing, or if you're just hanging out at a bar, a three-piece suit. This is a good casual and dress wear watch. Now, let's get to specific types of watches. Now, I do have 2 watches in here from the same company, Timex. Now, this is the most common you'll see, the most affordable Timex watch you'll see during the holidays and all that. But Timex watches are still normally expensive, even though there is no real watchmaking that goes into them anymore. So with that being said, these are normally like grandfather watches, but I disagree. It's fine to wear because, you know, it's an easy takeoff and all that, you know, especially if you're working a dangerous job where you can't wear a watch. You just go into work like, oh, can't wear it today. And you just slip it off. I mean, this is a easy watch just to slip on and off. If you're like one of those days, like, you know what, I want to deal with the whole bands and all that. This is a good watch to have. Something with a expandable band. Now the other piece I have from Timex is this is from the 1990s, one of the mass-produced copies from The Lion King. It's Simba, and this was when in the 90s watchmaking really started to become like a forgotten art form. And this band is a leather band, a leather braided band, and it's a great piece. It's a great piece for any movie memorabilia fan, and it's also a great Timex watch because the face of it is still good. With watches like this, antique watches, because this is really an antique now, it's great to wear because the faces are small, it's convenient to wear, it's nice casually. If you're going to a Disney convention, you want to wear it. The that's up to you. But the thing is, though, with Timex watches like these movie pieces, normally they have a thing on the back commemorating the movie, and so it's a great great watch to have if you're a Disney fan. Let's talk about sports watches. Now, sport watches are normally inexpensive. They're not expensive at all. That is, the only time they're expensive is if you're part of the team that wins like a Super Bowl or a World Series and all that. That's the only time it's expensive. Other than that, there's cheap bands to them. You can get them replaced. Like, this has a huge face to it. I don't know why, but this is my Mets watch. I'll explain why I don't like watches with huge faces on them. But this is my Mets watch. I was looking for Yankees, but what the hell? I still support the Mets even though I'm a Yankees fan. Here's ones like here. If you're into, you know, military watches or replica watches, here's one. Here's a replica of what the Navy wears. Small face as well. This is, you know, if you just want to like slip it on the Velcro, very easy one. I have another one that in green. Let's talk about watches like these. These are nice convenience watches to wear. They have nice bands on them. The faces themselves look like they're from other watches. Now, watch faces like these, normally with a telemeter watch, it has a button here. It has the turn up the knob here and then two buttons here to start telemeter, to stop it. This is a nice piece. Normally these watches can be expensive, forget the company, but it's a popular watch company. Now, expansion bands. Expansion bands are different from expanding bands. Now, expanding bands are like my grandfather style Timex watch. Now, expanding bands are like this, self-adjustable and all that. Now, my left wrist is too flimsy to wear this, so I wear it on my right wrist every now and then, because it's the only wrist it fits on. But the thing is, though, this is a Roman numeral watch, small face, square, with same design with the three smaller clocks in the middle. Of course, they don't work, but like I said, a lot of watches are inexpensive today. Speaking about movie memorabilia, Turner Classic Movies puts a watch out like this for Gone with the Wind. If you're a Gone with the Wind fan, this is a watch for you. This is for men and women all together. It has a small band to it, so if you are a guy who has a bigger wrist, I would suggest get a bigger wristband for your watch. But if you're a guy like me who has small wrists, this is a perfect watch for you to wear the band on. It's commemorating a Hollywood film, classic Hollywood film. Let's see. I'm a huge fan of Elvis. I have 3 Elvis watches, but don't have the time to find the other one. But I do have 2 of them right here. 68 Elvis one, small face. Got to replace the band soon. And I also have this. This doesn't work anymore, but I took the strings off so you can see the face. It's small, and it's made like a guitar, so it's easy to slip on and off. And finally, Disney Watch. These are special collector's editions. You have to buy something in Disney over $60 to get one. But I got this back in 2012. I bought Indiana Jones hat because I wanted this. And I have to replace the band, but it's real leather band. It has a small face, and it's a great watch for the Disney fan as well. Finally, you have watches out like this. Oh, and you also have the cases. They can get personalized and all that. Finally, you have dumbass watches like this. If you're a man who cannot read a watch, if you cannot read a watch time, if you can't tell the smaller hand is the hour and the big hand is the minute and the thin one's the second, if you need a digital watch and you're a man, either you're a nerd or you just don't know how to tell time. Look, this is my sister got this from my father for Father's Day. Stupid, right? It's a regular analog watch with a digital watch, and the watches like this are just dumb. But if you want to wear it, fine. But what I don't like about it is that look how big the fucking face is. You don't need a face that big for a watch. It's the same size as this. What looks much easier and less heavier on someone's wrist? This or this? If you said this, you're right. If you said this looks less heavy, I doubt it, because look at the size of the battery pack. Just wanted to point that out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe. Yep. See you guys.